sports directors again. I know Wilfred Peters in particular came in for a lot of criticism this time last year. They do have Tom Stales there this year as well, a former winner of this race. Certainly those in red towards the back aren't going to contribute to the chase here. This group is whittling down all the time. There's a rider from Southeast still here. No other riders from Tinkoff. So it's all down to Petr Sagan for them. Pardon me, no. There's one on the left-hand side, just hiding. If it's Oscar Gatto or Daniele Benati, then they could be in business if disaster happens for the front group. Just over 10 Ks to go. If you're a former winner, Pipo Pozzato fan, you can put your peacock feathers away because the peacock of Sandrigo is not going to be involved in the finale. He's not in the chase group. Benoot's still in the middle of this group. Whatever happens again, another great ride from him. Reminder, a fifth place finish in the Tour of Flanders, and not by holding on to wheels and being lucky. As Sagan gets ready for a sprint, tightens up those shoes. But Benoot fifth in that debut Tour of Flanders in a neo-pro season. After attacking and honouring the race. He is a rider to watch. Sagan, after tightening the shoes now, just stretches out his back a little, gets ready. Is he going to surprise us all, and is he feeling good enough to attack from distance? I don't think those riding with him would expect that. If riders are going to attack here, you can expect it to be either Benoot, Rowe, or if by some miracle Goujar had some extra superpowers and extra force with him after expending so much energy so far, then he. Because Van Avermaet and Sagan are without doubt the quickest of these riders on paper. Inside 10 Ks to go. Still the gap's above 50 seconds. And it's not coming down fast enough for those chasing behind. In the meantime, Rowe still playing politics with Goujar. Medic's quick step can't do that, surely. Trek Factory Racing to have their bodies at the front. BMC and Van Avermaet were well positioned. Sky turned it on when they needed to. They got their leader, their main man, to launch that first attack. And kudos for those following behind for noticing the moment and realising. Sagan, Van Avermaet, Benoot. In Goujar's case, he's been in the break since the very beginning. Well, you can't see it now, but looking out the commentary box window, there is a plethora of people. Plenty of cycling caps on heads. Hands clutching beer, coffee, frites and hot dogs. Belgian flags are around. There are a few Flandrian lions flying too. And eyes fixated on the huge LED giant screen just beyond the finish line. It's a wonderful spring atmosphere. And those on the road are getting ready to perform for them. Sagan taking down a gel, Rowe radioing in back to the team car. Just over 8 kilometers to go. No food left on board now for Petr Sagan. It's all been taken down. Who do we think's going to win? That is the question. In Sagan's case, that would be the headline victory. No World Championship win here since Martens won in 1977 when it was still Omloop Het Volk. Sagan came prepared for the cold today. To be fair, he's been in southern Spain, but he's been up in the cold as well. He's been at altitude in Sierra Nevada, just above the great city of Granada. It's not an easy place to have an altitude camp at this time of year. It's the most southerly of the big ski resorts in Europe, but there's plenty of snow up there. It chose to avoid Mount Teide, as many people go for their altitude camps in the Canary Islands still while the weather's bad in mainland Europe. But even they haven't escaped the snow in the last couple of the weeks. A couple of riders trapped in at the hotel at the top of the mountain there whilst roads were blocked to the national park one day. Sagan's had a very good training camp though by all accounts, and he's certainly looking good here despite not having raced for a month. Haven't seen too much of Luke Rowe yet this season. He's looked brilliant as well today, the Welshman. Greg van Avermaet's been going great guns without a win though so far. Strong in the Tour of Qatar. Tissa Benoot, good in the Algarve last week. Goujar, is he really going to be a player here? We don't know. If you had to make an educated guess, you would say that he isn't going to interfere with the four big guys who attack from behind. "50 seconds, no closing of the gap behind, and we're down inside the final 7 kilometers now. Well, Sylvain Chavanel in the chase behind. Somebody's got to try something. Perhaps Quick-Step were scared of towing everybody else to the line. But once again, guilty of letting this get out of their hands. Again, pulling it back, there's no guarantee they're going to win, but if they don't pull it back, there's no chance they are. When comes the moment where there's a minute let-up in pace and the first thought of individual ambitions? When is Benoot going to attack? Is Luke Rowe going to be the first to go as he was on the Tyenberg? Are Van Avermaet and Sagan going to surprise us? So many questions, as of yet, so few answers. Benoot pushes through, not a real attack. This is where the roads start to widen a little. We're heading back to the city. We've left Merelbeke. We're on our way back into Ghent. Approaching the banner that says 5 kilometers to go. Remember, there are race radios this year, so directors sportifs on this second division Europe Tour level do have an immediate impact if they want. They're watching the race on the cars, in the television. There's the famous River Schelde. That's of Scheldeprijs fame. Also known as Lescaut in French. Scheldeprijs having an alternate name, Grand Prix de Lescaut. Onto the motorway bridge. And in towards the Ghent area. Well, Goujar still giving a turn, eventually. His only hope would have been to sort of rest up as much as possible, drafting in and getting some sort of energy back for a finale and then an attack. Less than 5Ks to go. Omloop Het Nieuwsblad 2016, the 71st edition, has again provided entertainment. Now then, what's happening behind? We haven't seen any images, but the latest time gap has gone down to 32 seconds. 20 seconds, ever so quickly, dropped off. Have Quick-Step turned on the pace? Or is it Sylvain Chavanel and Direct Energie? Well, one thing for certain is that with race radios, 4Ks to go, these guys will know what's happening. 29 seconds now. Was this the plan all along? Quick-Step will know the roads better than anybody else here. they're all local pros. Van Avermaet is not without knowledge, though. He powers on. And a reminder, the last kilometre is uphill. The final 300 metres, pardon me, uphill with a more pronounced gradient and wind against. And we're not talking silly Koppenberg gradients or anything like that, just an uphill slope. But after 200 k's of racing, they can be of an impact. Now look behind, you can see the peloton. They come under the banner. Ghent is in sight, 26 k's to go. Oh, there's not going to be heartbreakers. That these guys have got to continue riding, because if it comes down any more, somebody's got to think about attacking if they're to save their own chances. What's Sagan thinking right now? Rowe hangs out at the back. Is this his moment? 3.2 k's to go. There's the banner for 3 k's, just above you on the screen. Wide exposed roads, and the wind is going to affect you a little more here. Few motorbikes being pulled out of the gap. That's always a worry. Always a worry for the guys in the break, because they know that the gap is coming down. No shots of the peloton, though. We don't know who's controlling or who's pulling this back. A worried look behind there from Luke Rowe. Surely this isn't all going to be in vain. The excitement is building, the noise building outside the commentary box already. We are being thoroughly entertained today. It's been a British win for the last 2 years. Can it be Luke Rowe again? Remember, this is a race that Sky dearly love. This was the first race they won as a team, with Juan Antonio Fletcher picking up victory in 2010. And on only one occasion, in all the years they've been riding it, they've missed out on the podium. Gap starting to hold again. 21 seconds now. Just over 2 k's to go. Looking a little better now for these guys. Look behind from Benoit. When's he going to attack? Surely he has to do. He will know the route. He will know the race. Inside the final 2 kilometers of Omloop Het Nieuwsblad. Peloton coming through that 2k barrier to go. It's not done and dusted yet. It is not nailed on this. And while that gap remains that, and if Quick-Step are chasing, Tom Bonen, Nicky Terpstra and the rest still remain candidates, if outsiders. No panic though from this group yet. They've done well to remain calm. Approaching the last kilometre. Railway bridge approaching. It's part of the old route that we used to see a few years ago, before we had the finishes in St. Peter's Square. St. Peter's Square turned into a fairground at the moment. And this is the chase. Chase looking on behind. It's just a question of a couple of 100 metres, but they're approaching the last kilometre with an 18-second lead. Last kilometre, which skirts uphill, which slopes up to the final 300 metres where the gradient's more pronounced. It's a little twisty, a little turny, a little harder, and with the wind against, if you're tired, it could seem like an eternity. Van Avermaet on the right-hand side riding for BMC and Belgium. He's in red and black. Behind him, the world champion, Peter Sagan, hoping to become the first man to win in the rainbow stripes since Freddie Martens in 1977. In the middle, in the red, you have the rider riding for Lotto Soudal, the Belgian team. That's Tissa Benoot. On the left-hand side, the man who was in the original breakaway, Alexis Goujar, who's putting on the pace right now and driving for in the past 2 editions. Standard won those both from a sprint. Luke Rowe would have to be very quick to beat Van Avermaet and Peter Sagan here. We're inside the last kilometre. Huge right-hand turn coming up soon. No gap at the minute. There's the railway bridge. Right-hand turn on the right-hand side. Just after we come around this bend. Still Gujal there. Still Sagan second. Van Avermaet, Rowe, Benoot. Who's going to be the first to lay their chances on the line and risk it all for the win? Or are they both going to hang on to the sprint? Behind the peloton, he's reaching rapidly as well. It's going to be tense. It's going to be tight. Here we go, up to the brand new finish. 200 metres to go. 150 metres. It's Greg Van Avermaet who's going to start it out. So often second, so often third, but Sagan is coming after him in the rainbow jersey too. It's Van Avermaet hanging on at the moment. Van Avermaet going to the line. It's going to be Greg, finally with a win. He's done it so many times of asking. And Greg Van Avermaet, first, beating the world champion Peter Sagan to win Omloop Het Nieuwsblad 2016. What a race, what a fight, and the man who hit the front foot